Hello there, Ray here, and welcome back to the oldest vanilla survival server, ProtoTech, where you would think we get bored of playing the same world for the last 6 years. But instead we come up with crazier and crazier stuff to do, which has allowed us to push the limits of the game without using any mods, plugins, or even data packs. And if you guys haven't seen the previous episodes, make sure to check those out with the link down below, so you can see all the other crazy stuff that ProtoTech has done. In today's episode, we're going to be designing a Bedrock item farm. You heard that right, guys. We're going to be making a farm that allows us to repeatedly collect the Bedrock item block. As you guys know, one of the goals of ProtoTech is to farm up every block, item, and mob in the game of Minecraft, so why not try to farm up the hardest block in the game? But before we can build the farm, we first have to turn on our hostile mob switch for the end dimension. This is where we have so many endermen loaded behind a gateway portal that the game won't attempt to spawn in any more endermen since it already sees that there's a whole bunch of them being loaded in the world at the moment. And we do this so that the endermen aren't bothering us as we build in the end dimension. Next up, we have to fly off to a very far location. It has to be some chunks that have never been generated before. Okay, so let's go over to the west portal here. This is the west one, and this will get us partly out there. So now we are 700 blocks closer. We need to get out to 6,000 though. Once we get 6,000, then we'll be able to go north. You guys ready? Getting the bedrock block as an item in survival would be a huge achievement, not only for its trophy-like presence, as it is the one block from the very beginning of Minecraft history that has stopped players from reaching different areas. Finding ways to break bedrock has allowed us to get into these new regions, but to actually hold the block that has all this history would be mind-boggling. But beyond just having it as a trophy, it also has many survival uses, as bedrock is one of the few blocks that mobs like withers and ender dragons cannot break. So we could make bedrock wither cages pretty much anywhere we wanted to, allowing us to have an alternative way to break cobble or wood inside of our farms without using TNT chambers. And if TNT duping is ever removed in the future, withers are a more long-term solution. It's also one of the only blocks which mobs cannot spawn on top of, but it is a solid full cube block, which means you can place this block down anywhere and mobs will never spawn on top of it. Now, getting the actual bedrock block item has been done multiple ways throughout the history of Minecraft. Huffingfish has a really cool series where he obtains rares in survival from the first versions of Minecraft all the way to the present versions, including some cool ways you can do back in alpha. Even when endermen were added, they could actually pick up bedrock, which you could actually kill in later versions to make them drop the block. More recently at 1.8, you could actually obtain it by pushing it and blowing it up, as one of the members at Example showed. Khappa was also able to make this way more consistent by using RNG manipulation. When ProtoTech was in version 1.8, we thought about getting the bedrock item in this version, but it was extremely RNG based. And with a 1.9 snapshot, it became a new way to get bedrock, which was extremely easy. But since we don't do snapshots on the ProtoTech survival server, this being because they often cause corruption, so we decided to update our server and we eventually ended up on version 1.12. Okay, so we're out negative 6,300. Now we want to go north. But our hunt to get the bedrock item was the only beginning. But with version 1.9, the developers actually hard-coded it that if the bedrock block would have somehow blown up or be mined by using cheats, it would not actually drop the item itself. Because of this change, any conventional way of trying to obtain the bedrock item would no longer work. Instead, different edge cases had to be looked at, include taking advantage of falling sand properties, which in theory, if you could get the bedrock to be a falling block and if it would land on a torch and pop off, it would drop its item, despite it being hard-coded to normally not drop. Johnny595 put a lot of time into looking at different sand tricks could be used to make bedrock into sand, but the search to find a way to get the bedrock item in survival expanded way beyond ProtoTech, and the Monkeys Discord found some other alternative ways like using Silk Touch to trick the game into thinking that it should drop the appropriate block. Khappa has a great video explaining how to pull this off in survival, and the majority of things needed to pull this off we already have on the ProtoTech server, which will really help us in pulling this off. We spent a couple days in our creative world designing a way to easily do this in survival, and ultimately a way to farm up the bedrock block item. And that's what we'll be building up today. Hopefully we succeed by the end of the episode.
Sadly, it's not a new version where you could just use the fight water trick to boost yourself upwards.
Oh yeah. Do you waste more Elytra by gliding or by just propelling forward?
You waste more Elytra just by gliding.
Oh yeah, because Elytra durability is based on time, not on distance. Go forward until 3,900. So we'll just walk it. The next chunk in front of us is the one where we're going to be building contraption in. This is where we'll have to grab our boxes. We have to make sure that chunk that we're going to place these boxes into doesn't save the population, which includes the formation of the gateway portal. So to do that, we're going to overload the chunk with so much information that it can't save it. So it'll just try to use the last save that I did have, and that way it can pull up the population once again, which allow us to repopulate the chunk with the gateway portal coming into existence once again, even after we have already seen the chunk once. So to do that, we're going to put in some books that have tons and tons of information in them. Just tons of characters. They're all different, and because there's so much characters, it's going to overwhelm the chunk. And we'll spread them out so that they take up more information. Just like a image that has tons of different types of pixels takes up more room than a image that has all similar color pixels. And then I got one more. Okay, awesome. So I got this shulker box. Also got this shulker box. As soon as the next autosave happens, I will fly over there and place them in. Okay, there it goes. Fly straight ahead over top of this little area. Right over here, right into this chunk, place in the 2 boxes. Awesome. This should now be save stated. Nothing populates in this chunk. Ooh, that was the hardest part. We can start building on it, but we need to have 2 accounts AFK loading this chunk. So the first part we build up is the part where the gateway portal will generate. We have a lot of experience with gateway portal generation, showing first that their spawn location could be manipulated, then proving that random gateway portals were actually not random and could be altered with RNG manipulation, and use these discoveries in our endstone farm as well as our gateway portals going out to the world borders. This also uses the save state shulker boxes and chunk populating with the rails, a setup like we used in the Switch. There's also some new technology here, which is where this fire block as well as slime block, which will eventually get swapped out with a bedrock block, comes into play. Next, we start building on the ender pearl cannon. We need a way to quickly transport the player from center of the loaded chunks all the way to the edge. Ender pearl cannons are a fun pastime of some of the members, and this one here was designed by Asquaredrt to be very small and calibrated to land the ender pearl at a very precise location on a single block. There's also a bunch of dispensers full of TNT off to the side, which a player will stand inside of. This will allow the player to walk much farther than he normally can in a single game tick, as the game sees traveling too fast as being some sort of cheat, so that it will rubber band you backwards. The last piece that we build up is the part that will create a bunch of lag, allowing us to travel to the edge of loaded chunks without actually loading any more chunks. We also want to keep the setup relatively simple with this as well. We have some TNT dupers on the edge, which will just push TNT into unloaded chunks. This allows us to build up a whole bunch of TNT and load it all at once with this redstone line, which is going out towards it. The redstone line is loading a 5x5 area at a very precise time, allowing the lag to occur just after the ender pearl hits. Xray made this really simple setup based off of Comet's TNT compressor, which he did some pretty cool stuff with. Now with these 3 systems and some very well timed adjustments made by Xray, we should hopefully be able to get a bedrock item. So the TNT cannon is built up. It's not that complicated, there's not that many blocks. The guys made it so that right after we throw the ender pearl, over here will be the cannon to shoot the player upwards. Give the momentum, and Xray designed it very simple, so everything's very simple for us to build up in survival, so we don't have to spend too much time building. And then over here, the guys are working on the TNT duper, which is going to dupe TNT here and then push it into this unloaded chunk. So we'll help them build up the TNT dupers, but let's go ahead and check up on the platform. So we don't need any kind of complex thing going out here to where the bedrock is. We're just going to throw the pearl, which is going to land right there, and then the player's gonna run over here, break that slime to update this chunk, and then come over here and break this slime. They'll put fire right here. And currently they got it powered. We'll butt it eventually, and the gateway is gonna spawn 9 blocks above that. Let's spawn right here. That's what we have so far. It's been going really good. We're gonna go ahead and bud this. So what we want to do is place in the fire. Got that there. We got the rails. We need to make sure these rails are butted. So at first we need to remove power to this one and then this one. So those are butted at the end. And then we need to remove power from this one, then this one. The way it works is when you remove power, it only checks the rail beside it, not the entire row. So if there's some rails that shouldn't be powered over here, it doesn't know that until you update it. We also made a platform here so that when the bedrock does break off, it doesn't fall into the void. because there is a hole over here. And during our testing, sometimes the bedrock item would fall down into that void, which is not good. Or this chunk here is the one that's going to form the gateway portal. This chunk here is going to get repopulated. It doesn't populate just a chunk, it populates the corners of chunks. So it's going to populate between 4 chunks. Populate corner of this one, and this one, and also this one. And this is the one that's going to make the gateway portal. Then the gateway portal is going to search for a block to place itself on top of. It's going to find that block over there, and it's going to spawn on the top of it. So that's how the population from that chunk can actually make a gateway portal be placed in a chunk that's not normally populated. So I'm gonna make some backup save state shulker boxes. So I got the original books here. Need to make some copies of these. Just in case we need to go back and place them down again, I'll have boxes to do that. Okay, let's make a silk touch pickaxe. So yeah, we're gonna break it using a wooden pickaxe. Are you guys ready? Okay, everybody stand inside. Don't stand on the walls. You don't actually get any statistics for breaking bedrock because you're not actually considered breaking bedrock, you're breaking a slime block. Okay, so now we can actually start this up, and we can start the TNT dupers now, I guess. First part is to make tons of lag by duping tons of TNT, which are going to get pushed into the next chunk over. That duper is just inside entity processing, and if we just push them one block, they go into lazy processing. They're going to build up there so much that they're going to create lag.
It didn't explode yet.
Hasn't exploded. That's good. It only dupes TNT for less than 3 minutes, which is pretty good. Makes 1,400 TNT. Pretty good for a little team setup. Not too difficult to build. It only takes 3 minutes. If we did like one duper, it'd take like an hour. So this is worth the extra build. Size. You can see the binary counter counting. When it counts so much, it will stop itself. One thing that is different, in our testing server, the server is on a different host. So hopefully this creates enough lag for us to actually complete this. Because this server is our dedicated server. It's a lot more powerful than Manrock server. All the TNT is being put into a chunk just beyond what we can see. Then we have this redstone line, which will automatically update it to perfect timing. All the TNT will be loaded and all be exploding. And there's no water there, so the explosion does tons of checks, which lags down the server. This is exactly what we need. The player can get really close to where the game is loading chunks, but no chunks will be loaded because there's so much lag. So the TNT duper has stopped. Awesome. The next part is the scary part. This is where we have to throw the ender pearl. Have it get launched by this ender pearl cannon, and it'll explode the pearl all the way to the edge. Same time, we also have to hop into this hole here with the water. Got my pickaxe, I got my ender chest. Everybody's in the center. Good. Autosave just happened. Hop in there. Hop in here. Get ready to run forward. Run forward. Break this slime. Break this slime. Oh, we did it, guys! We did it! We did it! Okay, I got pearl down here.
Okay.
And place in my boxes.
Did we get the bedrock?
Oh my god.
I seen the bedrock land right here.
Can we fly over?
Oh, there's a bedrock right there. Oh my goodness, guys. Yes, you guys can come over.
Which
the bedrock item!
And I was lodging in
The bedrock item!
Hold it in your hand.
That is insane. Great work, everybody. History was made. That was a little stressful. We also got the shulker boxes here. So this chunk is save state, so we can do it again. We actually can make a bedrock item farm out of this. We just need to reset the cannon, reset this thing. That's amazing, guys.
Automate it.
It's incredible.
That looks so crazy. Bedrock. It's number 7. It's so close. It's like one of the few first items I ever added into Minecraft. It looks insane holding this. Like actually holding this in survival. Like I only hold this in creative.
Can I touch it?
Oh, we are the first persons to get Bedrock in 100% vanilla survival server. That is insane, guys. Yeah, in 1.12. Yeah, we could have possibly got this and we thought about getting it at 1.8, but it was super difficult to get and relied on a lot of RNG. And then we could have also got it in 1.9 update, but then we're like, okay, we don't do snapshots on server. Because if we start doing snapshots on server, it opens up a whole can of worms. We don't know where to stop and where to stop because there's so much weird stuff in snapshots. Yeah, so then we like, okay, we don't got Bedrock, guys. We're gonna have to go into the next version without Bedrock. But no, guys, we can finally get it. And it's so cool because most of this technology that we use for this, we already had on the server. Like we were really familiarized with save states. We have a couple of TNT canyons that guys have designed in the past. TNT compressing over there. Comet has done a lot of with that. Save states, we literally started save states and we've been using a lot. Gateway portals, we're the first one to start moving gate portals around, like all this stuff. We know all this stuff like the back of our hand, so it's really cool to put it all together to use it. I guess one of the few things we never, which is new, is actually using leg to get to the border. I don't think we've ever used that on our server before. Actually, I like leg. He did a really good job. Oh man, I'm so scared to hold it in my hand because I feel like I'm gonna right click. Oh, picked up Bedrock. Oh, you guys pass it around. Everybody stand in a circle. Okay, nkls, you pass it to Dude. You pass it to Manrock. Lenrick, he's still having problems. Shredda. And Eriksha passes. Oh, passes to himself again.
I was gonna do that myself.
I guess if we want to, we can set up. We can do it again. We can get 2 Bedrock items. What we'll do is we'll turn on so we can break this Bedrock here really easily. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we also did this with a wooden pickaxe with a silk touch. We took on Bedrock, the hardest block in Minecraft, with a wooden pickaxe, guys. I would say that's pretty easy. I mean,
Well,
we literally just like built this up yesterday after like goofing around for 5 days. I'll put the Bedrock in here. It looks fake. It almost looks like some kind of like token or something. Okay, so I got the dragon eggs. We'll go over there and we'll break the Bedrock. I'll have to turn on the switch with my other account. Same account that I'm using to see when the autosave occurs. Okay. Oh yeah, we do need to put that one. We do need to put this block in right here to update this chunk.
Yeah.
Autosave this one off. We're gonna go ahead and turn this on. Switch that switch. Wait, switch to that one. Now instant falls on. Okay, now we're gonna break the Bedrock so we can redo this. With the switch enabled. Easy Bedrock breaking, especially ones that are all lined up. Break that. And we also break the portal. Portal actually won't affect it, but the Bedrock underneath will. Make sure I don't get teleported by that. Now we're breaking this one. First time we're actually breaking a portal. Most of the time we're always trying to avoid breaking portals. Now we have to remove all our blocks around here. Right by the rails, okay. So no one touched those. So we made some more books. Took us a while. We had to make a chicken farm to get more feathers out here. No one wanted to go back. Let's spread these out. Pick up this one. You notice every time I open the ender chest, it looks empty because it lags so much. Cool, so we got the 2 boxes. We'll grab them and place them down when we need to. Okay, you want to get ready, Xrata? Stay in the right spot with the ender pearls. I'll tell you when the autosave happens. Now. Go, Xrata. Remember to use the pick I gave you. Okay, he's out there.
Ouch! That was
I can see him there.
very loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Fast. Wait, can we come over?
I think so. He got it.
Awesome.
Let's go.
I got the boxes back in the trunk again. Guys, we got another Bedrock. We got 2 Bedrock. Let's put that in the ender chest. See guys, it's a Bedrock farm. We can just keep doing this to get more and more Bedrock. So we got the portal removed with dragon eggs again using instant fall, the switch in the overworld. Put the fire in. Lenrick is going to bud the rails. Awesome.
The rails are bud.
Nice. We should be able to leave this chunk now. As long as no one comes back in again, it should be good. Next time we want to start up the Bedrock farm. Maybe we'll even automate it in the future. Automated farms are pretty awesome.